So it's keeping it at the forefront of your mind, reminding your brain that that's what you want,
And
because
feel
when
it.
we have
Feel it.
life, your life can take over, and you're worried about like all the housework, or the paperwork you've got to do, or this, the stuff to help family, or whatever it is in your life that the bills. You've got all these things going in your head, and then you forget about what the thing you want to achieve. Whereas if you've got a vision board somewhere where you're going to see it every day, you're reminded daily, this is what I'm going for. Language is so important, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it. I believe there's no such thing as bad luck. It's perception. There's no such thing as good or bad luck. It's perception. It's how you perceive it. Like it really is. Like, if you keep saying, if something goes wrong and you say, "Oh, geez, I've had a run of bad luck today," it's because that first bit of bad luck made you spiral thinking everything is going wrong.
Whereas when that offer came up, you go, "Oh, that's a scam." Wouldn't you?
So I was convinced it was a scam. I was such a big skeptic. I was so skeptical. Because like the offer, I was like, "No, it's a scam." And I was afraid to click on the link. I genuinely didn't click on the link. It was only the next day one of Ed's team rang me and said it, and I was just like, "Maybe it's still a scam." It took me so long to actually confirm it, because I genuinely did think it was a scam, and then it took a lot of me overcoming self-limiting beliefs to not believe that every opportunity was a scam.
Yeah. Chunking task, visualization, you touched upon this. So
vision boards, they're awesome. Like put pictures of what you want on your vision board, like pictures or words or quotes on your vision board. Just something that you look at every day. And even if you just glance at it for a few minutes, your brain is going to process that. Like, I have pictures of, books and writing material on my wall that I've had up for a couple of years. And I published a book back in December. And I'm on the process of finishing my second book. You know what I mean? And there's other little things on there as well that, I see every day, and I'm going to achieve that just by visualizing it, by just looking at it. So it's really good just to have these little things there just to kind of push you forward. And little positive affirmations on your wall as well. It's really good.
Yeah, so it's keeping it at the forefront of your mind, reminding your brain that that's what you want, because your life can take over, and you're worried about all the housework, or the paperwork you've got to do, or this, the stuff to help family, or whatever it is in your life that the bills. You've got all these things going in your head, and then you forget about what the thing you want to achieve. Whereas if you've got a vision board somewhere where you're going to see it every day, you're reminded daily, this is what I'm going for. And so what happens when your brain's like, this is what I'm going to do, I see it every day, is it will begin to spot the opportunities. So I used to be somebody who didn't see any opportunity, and if there was an opportunity, I'd be like, "Oh, that scares me," and slam the door shut. The door of opportunity, no thank you. But when I started meditating and believing in myself, doors seem to be opening everywhere. And and sometimes you might see a door of opportunity but not have the balls to step through it. So having a vision board primes the brain to spot the opportunities and bring it to your attention, because what we have to remember is that we are bombarded by information all the time, and our brains cannot process it all. So we have a filter, and it distorts, deletes, and generalizes the information to fit the narrative that you're telling yourself. So if you're telling yourself that I never get any opportunities, or I'm always overlooked, or I'm no good at, I couldn't be a leader, or I'm no good at sport, then there will be no opportunity. If an opportunity is there, your brain will go, well, that's not for you, so I'm not going to draw attention to it. And so your brain will filter out all the positive stuff. I'm sure I saw something that Darren Brown did once on people who feel they're lucky. So people who thought they were lucky, they were saying that they were lucky. And I think there was something like, there was a £20 note on the floor, and the people who were saying that they were lucky, or had been mind controlled to believe that they were lucky, saw the £20 note, and the people that didn't think they were lucky just walked straight past it and didn't see it. And that's because I'm not lucky, I'm not going to notice that £20 note that's just laid there for me to pick up. So language is so important, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it. I believe there's no such thing as bad luck. It's perception. There's no such thing as good or bad luck. It's perception. It's how you perceive it. Like it really is. Like if you keep saying, if something goes wrong and you say, "Oh, geez, I've had a run of bad luck today," it's because that first bit of bad luck meant you spiral thinking everything is going wrong. Whereas if you see something as a lesson rather than an obstacle or bad luck, you'll just see it as a stepping stone, and then the rest of the day will be fine. It's all about your mindset, your perception. And it is that awareness as well, being able to see everything around you. And it is amazing the opportunities that come into your life when you actually set the intentions to go after what you want. It's amazing. We got that amazing program, the Expert Coach program.
Yeah.
Worth over 5,000. And we got it for free. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff just falls into our laps because we're intending it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. Whereas as you said before, we were in this bubble and it was just like, nothing was showing up and we were like, oh, there's nothing happening.
What you probably think is when that offer came up, you go, oh, that's a scam. Wouldn't you?
So I was convinced it was a scam. I was such a big skeptic. I was so skeptical. Because they were offering this, I was like, no, it's a scam. And I was afraid to click on the link. I genuinely didn't click on the link. It was only the next day one of Ed's team rang me and said it, and I was just like, it's still a scam. It took me so long to actually confirm it because I genuinely did think it was a scam, and then it took a lot of me overcoming self-limiting beliefs to not believe that every opportunity was a scam.
Yeah. So you could be handed something on a silver plate, and you go, no, that's not real. That's a scam. If you're not got the right mindset. So journaling can help as well. So when we journal, we can notice patterns, behaviors or thoughts that are unhelpful. And then when we are aware of them, awareness is 50% of fixing it. A lot of the time we go around on autopilot, we have 85% of the same thoughts every day. And if those same thoughts are negative and unhelpful and not serving you, then you're going to be stuck. You might have a miserable life, or certainly won't have the life that you're capable of. So journaling's a great way. Writing things down does embed things into your subconscious much better. So just like it's better to hand make notes if you're in a lesson for memory, the same is true about affirmations as well. So if you're not doing them in meditation, writing them down will really impression your subconscious to get it on board with what you want to achieve. And that will stop you having as much negative self-talk, and it will stop you making excuses, or you will spot the excuse. So sometimes we think we have reasons not to do something, but actually it's just an excuse because our subconscious is going, oh, no, this is scary. And we don't know that we think it's scary. We just think, oh, I'm not going to do that because of this.
Yeah.
And it's just an excuse, not a reason. So writing down, if you say, right, I'm going to do this, and then something crops up and you're like, I'm not going to do it now, even though I promised myself I was going to do it, then journaling that excuse down, that reason down, and then later on looking back and seeing if it really was a reason or if it was an excuse. Once the moment's gone and you don't have to do that thing anymore, where you're just making excuses, and then you make a mental note that that's not one that's going to get past you next time. And slowly you notice your own sneaky excuses that you use so that you can overcome them, can't you?
That's why I have open dialogue with myself, because starting those new courses and even starting that coaching group, I went into severe imposter syndrome, and I mean really bad. And I knew these were good opportunities, so I had to spend time talking to myself and asking myself, is this real? Is this fear real? Is it not good for me, or is it good for me? Why am I not wanting to do this? Why am I afraid to do this? And in overcoming all these doubts and thoughts that were in my head, I just pushed through anyway, and I'm sure I love the things now. I'm so confident, I'm so happy now. It's amazing. If I hadn't been aware, I would have boycotted everything, and I would have missed out on such amazing opportunities. But I had to sit with myself, and this took me, I was still doing the things even while I was going through this conversation in my head. But I said to myself, I have to keep going because I know it's right for me, but I have to overcome the reasons behind why I was afraid.
Yeah, we have to be good at pushing ourselves when things are uncomfortable, because if you can't push through the discomfort, then you're going to stay stuck. And change is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, and there's no way of getting around that. We can make the change small so that it's not a big, you're not ripping off the band-aid as Elliot does, jumping head first down a death slide, that kind of thing. You can reduce the discomfort, but you can't completely get rid of it. There's going to be a moment of discomfort because you're doing something that you're not used to, and it's your body's way of trying to protect you. But we're not cavemen and women anymore.
Yes,
And
there is no saber-tooth tiger. We will survive if we take a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention something else, but I've forgotten. I hadn't written it down, so I'm sure
Gratitude,
it will.
maybe? Gratitude.
Sorry?
Gratitude?
Oh, gratitude. Yeah.
Yes. That's so important. Like acting, saying thank you for the opportunity before it even comes. Embody it, feel it as if it's already yours. Saying thank you, even just that simple thing of thank you for my successful coaching business, before I was a coach, or thank you for this amazing opportunity. And then the opportunity arrives, you know what I mean? It's crazy how gratitude can actually manifest things for you.
And it's proven, even if you're not, I would highly recommend showing gratitude for the things that you desire as if you've already got them. I would highly recommend that. But even if you don't feel comfortable doing that at the start, showing gratitude to I can't speak. Showing gratitude for the things that you already have is scientifically proven to improve your health,
But
it rewires
brings,
to see the positive.
Yeah, it brings more things in as well. Like if you actually, we neglect to appreciate what we already have, and we're always concentrating on what we don't have. But that's an energy of lack. So if you're always kind of going, why I don't have this, you're cutting it further away. But if you say thank you for the things that you have and appreciate and know that you are rich with what you have already, that actually opens up an energy to bring in more into your life.
Yeah. And we've talked about meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very powerful. It's what I used before I had any, that's how I changed my mindset. I did it through meditation. Accidentally, I just started meditation because I was like, I need to calm my mind, because I was so scared that I was going to die. And I wasn't scared of dying. I was scared of my children, because I'm a single parent. I was scared of my children finding me dead, and the scarring that would cause to them. So at one point, I even had my sister stay over and sleep in the bed next to me. I was that scared that I just wasn't going to wake up in the morning and the kids were going to find me. And so obviously my sister couldn't move in with me. She's got her own life. So I was like, I'm going to have to find something that's going to calm me. So I'd been looking into meditations, and I'd discovered the CIA paper and read through that, and I was like, if I'm going to do a meditation, I might as well do the Gateway one, because they sound super cool. I'll give it a go. So I kind of accidentally stumbled on meditation as a healing thing. I only started meditating because I wanted to be able to get to sleep at night, not worried that I wasn't going to wake up and my kids were going to find me. That's where meditation came in. And then I saw a change in such a short amount of time that I meditate every day, and I have done for a couple of years now. So, but before that, I tried meditation and I found it really tricky, because I have quite a busy brain, and I found it really hard to quiet my brain. And you don't have to have a quiet brain. It's about observing your thoughts and noticing them as not being you. You are the observer. You are not your thoughts. And when you realize that, then you can change them. I used to very much think that my thoughts were me. I thought they were me, So the idea of changing my thoughts, it's like, that doesn't make sense. That's just who I am. But when you realize that you're not your thoughts, you are the observer of your thoughts, and you can separate yourself from that, that's when you can start changing them. So we do that through reframing as well. So affirmations and reframing. But if you find meditation, you've got a busy brain, you find meditation difficult, using binaural beat ones or
Yeah, once for
these
sleep.
ones.
When you go to sleep, literally just press play and just go to sleep, and it will work for you while you're asleep. It's amazing.
It just brings such clarity, doesn't it, to your life? I think you start to notice things by yourself and make connections by yourself, that inner peace. Yeah, so meditation is amazing, and reframing is such a great tool. Reframing is a great tool because just saying positive things all the time does not make life better. You have to look at the negative stuff and what you're saying to yourself. So it's no good saying, berating yourself and then going, oh, everything's great. You know, that's toxic positivity. So what's great about reframing is it takes that negative outlook or thought pattern or belief, the thing that you're saying to yourself, and it changes it so it's progressive, so it's less negative. And studies have shown that reducing your negativity is more impactful for your mental health than just saying positive stuff. Yes, we say be positive, say positive stuff, but you can't just say loads of positive stuff and ignore the stuff that needs working through
Exactly.
and needs changing. Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
so important to be aware of all of your thoughts, even your negative ones, so that you can release them. Because if we bottle them up, they're still just going to bubble.
Yeah, and your emotions, you can't just ignore your emotions. They're there for a reason. Yeah, and so that's why we're very much for, like, coaching is very much what can we do now? The power is in the now. What can we do now? But we are very aware that now sometimes we can't take the step we need to because of all of the stuff behind the scenes. And so we have to go behind the scenes and we have to heal that stuff to be able to make that step that we need to make. Yeah. Looking at people pleasing is also a big one. I think people pleasing, you know, sometimes we're not even going after our own dreams. Sometimes we're going after somebody else's, you know.
Yeah.
We're doing
So,
what
like I said, you're
we're
living
supposed
somebody
to.
else's life
Yeah.
for them if you're not living your own, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are on an hour.
Oh, wow. I just
That went fast.
I just see Mauricia says there are no accidents, and that was to do with like you accidentally finding the meditations.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a fact. There is only synchronicity. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're guided to that, and you know everything is a lesson or a growth mechanism. Do you know what I mean? So there isn't any such thing as an accident or a coincidence. It is aligned perfectly for your life. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, and the one thing that I said I was going to say, there's something else I want to say, but I've forgotten, is changing the way you view failure. So
Mm-hmm.
failure is not failure, it's feedback, you know?
Yeah.
So if you see it as all part of the journey, if you go, it's like when we started the lives, like I was like, it's gonna be rubbish. You know, I'm probably gonna forget what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna too much. I still too much. And but I did it anyway, you know. But I did it anyway, and they got better as I went along, and we've gone along, you know. So it's not letting the fear of failure stop you starting.
Exactly. And keep pushing through. Like, there'll always be tests, there'll always be little obstacles, but knowing that they're lessons, knowing that they're guides, you know what I mean? Everything can push you actually forward. You know what I mean? So if you use your obstacles or your failures to propel you forward. And I hate using the word failure because there is no such thing.
No.
You know, it's literally a lesson. You're learning something when you don't do it right. And you're getting to experience something as well, but you're getting to make doing it right better in a sense. You know what I mean? Just push through. You know, don't be set back, because you know that lesson will actually help you do the thing better next time.
Yeah. And so if anything that we've talked about today, things like imposter syndrome, people pleasing, what else? How to be more positive without ignoring your suffering, healing different wounds. We've got all different mindset lives that we've previously done that goes into those in depth. So if you want to work on perhaps people pleasing, or you want to work on imposter syndrome, do go back and look at those, because there's lots of really valuable specific tips and tricks for how to work through that. And to finish, join Teacher Mindset Matters. It's our free Facebook group. We have coaches in there that are ready to help you and support you from all different fields and specialisms. So whether it's nutrition, or whether, you know, you're a parent and you want support making time for you, if it's spiritual healing or twin flame, or
narcissistic abuse, feeling,
procrastination,
anything like that. So
yeah, that whatever it is.
we've
And if there
got
isn't
such a
somebody,
mixed bag in there. Yeah, we've got
yeah,
so many different coaches there to help with all walks of life, you know, we
yeah.
really do.
And if you can't find the coach in there that you want, I know so many coaches that I will be able to find you a specialist in the thing that you want to work on. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
join us there. We would love to have conversations with you, and we'll see you next
See
week.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.